Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to more community patch character changes on Borderlands 2. This video is only covering patches 3.0 and 3.1. If you wanted to see any previous changes, such as 2.0, then I've already made videos on that. You can go check out those character guides, but today we're just going to be talking about 3.0 and 3.1, so I don't want to get you guys confused. So most of these changes are in the Harmony skill tree, so we have to work our way down to get to the first skill that changed. And the first skill that changed was Recompense. This skill, originally there was a 10% chance to hurt the enemy. In patch 3.0 they doubled the damage, but then later in the next patch, 3.1, they realized that doubling the damage was too much, so to account for that, they halved the chance. So originally, it used to be a 10% chance to hurt your enemy per point, but they obviously changed that to 5%, which you can see on the screen, which caps out at 25%, but still would double the damage, which is a cool little skill. It's when you take health damage, there's a chance that your attacker takes damage equal to quadruple the amount of health lost. So it's a nice little change. I don't know if people will still use it, but we'll see. Next skill that changed was Res. You can instantly revive a friend and fight for your life by using phaselock on him/her. You also gain increased time during fight for your life. Extra fight for your lifetime was added in patch 3.0. Plus 35% is actually very nice. If you're a health siren or you're a support siren, you usually want to run this skill anyways, so it's a nice little boost for basically everyone. Next skill that changed, so we'll just put our points in there, is Life Tap. In patch 3.0, they removed the sound effect from the skill. I really never noticed. I don't play Maya enough, and when I do, I don't run Life Tap. But it's a kill skill. Killing an enemy causes you to steal health from any enemy you damage for a short time. I guess there was some sort of sound effect. People didn't like it. Last skill that changed was Scorn. In patch 3.0, I guess originally it was an 18-second cooldown. In patch 2.0, they made it an 8-second cooldown, which they realized was too much. You could throw Scorn too often, so in patch 3.0, they moved it back up to 10 seconds as a cooldown. And then in patch 3.1, they doubled the slag chance. So there's a higher slag chance and a little bit higher cooldown, but it helps with the state of the game and keeps everything balanced, which is a really nice change. It's a melee override. You can throw an orb of slag instead of using your melee that damages enemies near it and can also slag them. So it's a good way to get slag out without having to use a slag weapon, and a lot of sirens do run this just as a basic skill. The next changes come in the Cataclysm tree. First skill is Helios. In patch 3.0, they increased the damage by 50%, which is really nice. It doesn't show on the card, obviously. But also they fixed the bug with Ruin, where if you don't know, Ruin slags enemies, and then when you get Helios as well, there'd be a fiery explosion, but it'd do it in the opposite order. So enemies would get fiery explosioned first, and then they would get slagged. A lot of players saw this as backwards and messed up. So they fixed that, so they get slagged and then they'll take the fire damage, which is increased by 50%. Last skill that changed in the Cataclysm was Backdraft. Your melee attacks deal additional fire damage. Additionally, when your shields are depleted, you create a fiery explosion, damaging nearby enemies. Your shields must fully recharge between explosions. In patch 3.0, the melee damage was doubled, but the Nova shield was slightly nerfed. Emphasis on slightly. They just said the way it was too powerful, so having a slight little decrease to that is no big deal. Next, we'll go over to the motion skill tree, and we have to work all the way down to Thought Lock. It's an action skill alteration. Phaselock causes enemies to turn on their friends instead of being locked down. Additionally, Phaselock's duration is increased, and before patch 3.1, there used to be a plus 3-second cooldown added on to this. So if you wanted this skill, the cooldown would be increased, which sucks for a lot of players. So they got rid of this completely, and now it just adds the 4-second duration, which it always did, but with no additional cooldown, which is really nice. And for the most part, those are all the changes that happened. So just to recap, Scorn had changes, Res had changes, Backdraft, Helios, Life Tap, Recompense, Thought Lock, And that's about it for Maya. There were a few more changes in patch 2.0, which you can go see in my earlier videos. But overall, I'm really happy with these changes. A lot of these skills players do use, and they will change the way people play and just make it feel more balanced at OP8, so it's still a challenge, but a reasonable challenge. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next character reviews, which will be coming in the near future, probably for the next few days. Awesome. Thanks. See you guys in the next one.